welcome to Football New South Wales coverage of the NPL Women's New South Wales competition, blah, blah, blah. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blacktown Football Park for this evening's NPL New South Wales Women's first grade fixture between your Blacktown Spartans FC and the Illawarra Stingrays. We wish the best of luck to both sides.
Well, that intro means you can only be at one place, Blacktown Football Park in the heart of Western Sydney. Welcome to Football New South Wales coverage of the 2024 NPL Women's New South Wales season. And there's a game that features the league leaders. They're absolutely in red-hot form. Illawarra Stingrays travelling away to the home team, Blacktown Spartans. Eric Subihano here on the mic from the Rudy Hill shipping container. Looking forward to this one. There's so much young talent on this field today, and we should be set for another great example and another great showing of the women's top-tier competition in Football New South Wales. For those of you less familiar with the two teams, traditional kits for both. Orange for the Spartans, pink for the league-leading Illawarra Stingrays. I'll take you through the lineups at the appropriate break in play, because it looks like today's centre referee, Mia Velarde, from the Manly Warringah Football Referees Association, is about to get us underway. Well, for Stingrays, a draw last time out on this very patch of synthetic turf against emerging Jets that broke a losing streak. Now it's time for Nacho Alcaraz's side to try and earn their first victory since round 8, when they shocked two-time defending champions MacArthur Rams by 3-1 down at Linwood Park. While for the Stingrays, it's 3 wins in a row, and as I said, they are top of the table, although heading into this game, 1 point separating first place from 5th place. That's how competitive NPL Women's New South Wales is in 2024. And as that goes out of play, I think I'll run through at least the Spartans' starting lineup. So, in goal for the hosts, number 1, Anna Norton. Then number 2, it's Philippines international and the captain, Chantel Maniti. Number 7, Krista Oliva. Number 9, Rukaya Alfaraje. Number 14, Indiana Dos Santos. Number 16, Alyssa Winham. Number 26, Diana Corona. Number 27, Alyssa Ungsad. Number 29, it's Blacktown Zone and Matilda's cap 218, Jessica Nash. Number 33, Janea Dos Santos. And number 39, Isabel Wilson. There's Mackenzie, back to her central defensive partner, Caitlin Cooper. There's Cooper, a woman who would be very familiar with the complex just to the right of things. The Spartans headquarters being next to Wanderers HQ, as it's Faraja with the early touch and the shot, which is no bother to the Stingrays keeper. Speaking of, here's the Stingrays starting lineup. In goal for them, number 31, Kiwi Youth International and Wellington Phoenix superstar Brianna Edwards. And number 3, Alex McKenzie. Number 4, Amy Dekimura. Number 8, Sakura Najima. Number 11, Danica Matos. Number 14, Siobhan Edwards. Number 15, the captain, Caitlin Cooper. Number 18, Molly Lawless. Number 23, the player some people are calling the Macedonian Marvel, Sienna Silveska. Number 28, Sophia Christopherson. And number 32, Hayley Taylor-Young. So if you look at the table, you might think there's only one way this is going to go, with the Spartans in 14th and the Stingrays in 1st, but this competition does have a habit of creating a few, or more than a few, shocks, and does seem to be one every week. Although, unfortunately, we are not shocked to see that 2 games in this competition got washed out. So we will see that game between Sydney Olympic and RPL Leichhardt that was scheduled for yesterday at Jubilee Stadium played at a later date, as Edwards, under pressure from Alfaraja, finds Mackenzie. And Mackenzie, as Stingrays get out of the press, here's Hayley Taylor-Young, the other washout, by the way, Sydney University, the team that broke my heart by eliminating the Flying Bats from the Sapphire Cup. They'll play their home game against Emerging Jets at a later date. Sydney Uni can be so mean sometimes. They then knocked my employers out of the cup in the next round. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, by the way, I've just been joined by Football New South Wales, legendary Football New South Wales reporter Justin Davies. He's made the short trip from next door, where he was covering the youth men's derby between Wanderers and Sydney FC, those two academies. How'd that go out? 3-0 to Sydney FC. Well, yes. Also, I'm intrigued by Justin's positioning. He's decided, for some reason, to create his own restricted view seat here. He's standing Yes. Yeah, all right. Yes, well, yes. I don't know why he did that, but anyway. It's out for a goal kick. He said, in case anyone is interested, NPL Men's New South Wales game played next door. 3 p.m. kickoff, finished 3-0 to the Sydney FC Academy over Western Sydney Wanderers. Spartans certainly hoping that's not an omen in terms of Western Sydney teams suffering defeat today. Now, strong tackle in the middle of the field. Norton, good command of the penalty area. That ends up being relatively straightforward for Anna Norton. A keeper who, a few people out in the field today has received some kind of youth recognition for Australian national teams. I think from memory, 2 years ago, Anna Norton did receive a call up to a young Matilda's training camp. As it opens up here, for Ingsard sends it into the advertising boards to the right, well, to the side of Brianna Edwards' goal. And just looking at these two lineups, the Dos Santos sisters, Indiana and Janeo. They've been the youth internationals for Australia. So is Jessica Nash, and of course she does have that one Matilda's cap, which she earned 3 years ago. I'll never forget that because it happened on my birthday. And then looking elsewhere, Brianna Edwards, youth international for New Zealand. Caitlin Cooper has 10 Matilda's caps from memory. Edwards falls on the ball inside the penalty area. Almost certain that Sienna Silvestre has also played youth for Australia at some point. Now, might open up for the Stingrays here. Dekimura, left side of the box. Then the touch is too heavy. Easy for Norton. Now, Stingrays immediately pressing high, and Dekimura might have a chance inside the box here. Goes across to Edwards, fakes the shot with the left boot. Can't shake off the defense. And now she'll have a shot, which is blocked. Good tempo to this game in the early stages. I've also noticed as Ingsard shakes off a defender, that'll be overhit. There's a couple of players, one on each side, rocking what I like to call the Viviana Miedema look, short sleeves and gloves. So Siobhan Edwards doing that for the Stingrays. And I think that is Janeo Dos Santos doing likewise for the Spartans. By the way, of course, my apologies. I gave a shout out to the centre ref Mia Velarde. Can't forget the other two members of the third team. So the assistant nearest to us is George Zorbas. The assistant on the far side is Matthew Herring. Nash trying to start a move. It's broken up by Nojima. Cancel a spectacular goal. We saw that a couple of weeks ago for the Stingrays, I believe. Yep, that was to win a game 1-0 away at MacArthur Rams. Now, good work from Alpha Raja, followed up by equally strong defending from Caitlin Cooper, and despite the shouts from the home bench, I don't think there was much wrong with that. Taylor Young uses her speed, and she's got a lot of speed to get on the end of that 1-2. Taylor Young's got a few options. Silvestre. Taylor Young delivers. That's going to be the keeper's ball. So the first of many texts I seem to get whenever I call games about things that are happening in other games going on at the same time. I'll have to... Anyway, good touch from... I think it was a good touch from Janeo Dos Santos. Recovered well for Danica Matos. Just like a long-time mate, Caitlin Cooper. A player who will be very familiar with the complex to the right of things as we see it. Now let's look at the two benches while we got a bit of a chance. So for the Spartans, their coach Nacho Alcaraz, you can choose from Charlotte Owen, Helena, Daniela, Charlotte Wilford Carroll, Isabella Preston, Alyssa McKenzie, or Ella Stewart. I believe out of those, Stewart will be the backup keeper. For the Stingrays, their coach Stephen Gordon, his backup keeper is Sophie Emery. The other options Tara Cannon, Kayla Austin, Hallie Callow, Ella Giles, and Poppy Hooks. It's nice for the Stingrays to have A-League women experience on their bench in the form of Poppy Hooks, who has spent a season with Perth Glory. And Poppy Hooks, like quite a few people, lots of players in recent times deciding to make the move to NPL New South Wales as a player from outside the Greater Sydney area for the next step of a footballing career. Stingrays in particular have a few of them, and that was actually one of those players from outside Sydney, Alex McKenzie, who started in NPL Capital Football, made the cover run, but it was offside in any case. Bounce. Davis Manidi sends it forward. Oh, it's an interesting turn from Edwards. And Edwards has kept the ball away from two players. So she was one-on-one with Nash. Has the wide option. But then that, well, shepherding it out from that far away from the goal line and inside the box could be a little bit risky, but it works out well in the end for the home side. It's a goal kick. Norton restarts. Inside touch can't be Taylor Young. And Taylor Young, I think she was looking for Edwards with the through ball, but I reckon that pass was closed down by Alyssa Winner. Alyssa Winner, just like Brianna Edwards, a youth international for New Zealand. So it's, you could say it's a Kiwi derby. Shout out to all my Kiwi friends who follow the NPL New South Wales competition and try and keep a track of their compatriots who have moved across to the Tasman for footballing reasons. So there should be, I think, a couple of them watching at least. Yeah, those Kiwis, of course, Alyssa Wynn and Brianna Edwards. Also Charlotte Carroll on the Spartans bench, and though she hasn't formally declared for New Zealand in any sense, logic dictates that Brianna Edwards' twin sister Siobhan also counts as a Kiwi. Header from Manidi, and Ingsard doesn't keep it in play. High ball into the middle from Seveska, and the decision has gone against the Stingrays. So Norton restarts. It's a good header for the Stingrays, but then Spartans looking to work the far side in front of the benches. Again, Siobhan Edwards, as usual, being busy in the early exchanges. Wallace, the backwards pass, and then that will be too direct for any Stingrays player. And of course, there were games earlier, so big shout out to anyone who has tuned in after watching the earliest kickoff in NPL Women's, played at 3 p.m. and high drama at Lambert Park. I do know I was listening to it on the way in, because why not listen to the dulcet tones of the Serbian Martin Tyler, Nikola Pozdo. But here, Nikola was at Lambert Park. I do know the Bulls FC Academy took the lead against RPL by former Spartan Amber Lookmeyer. But there was a comeback, and RPL Leichhardt eventually won by 3-2. So look at the live table, or at least do the maths in my head right now to do the live table. As of right now at this moment, that will put RPL Leichhardt, the defending premiers and Sapphire Cup winners from last year, Brad Afhart's team, for now, top of the table. Stingrays will certainly have something to say about that. As this could be a shooting opportunity for Najima. That was closed down quickly, but she persists. There's a block, and that's going to be a throw-in right near the corner flag. Also, just looking at the graphic, apparently Apia finished that game with 10 players against the Bulls, as that'll break for Maniti. She sends it towards halfway. So lots of work for Nikola Postel to do. I'm sure he did a great job, as he always does. Faraja running in beyond. I think the pass came later than she wanted. And indeed, the flag raised by George Zordas, assistant nearest to us. But we'll go on, because Brianna Edwards has the ball. Actually, I reckon the mic that our camera operator Clayton has, the effects mic, I reckon that's going to be able to pick up that incredibly loud PA system at Wanderers headquarters. And the reason I'm bringing that up as it's a good first touch from Indiana Dos Santos. Now to assist to Janea and Winner. I reckon she thought about pulling the trigger. Back to Insard. Now Nash. And that's will go out of play, but just the woman on that PA system at Wanderers headquarters. She does sound a little bit like fellow Football New South Wales commentator Annabelle Banfield. Unfortunately, Annabelle's game, as I said earlier, washed out that game between Sydney University and American Jets. But Annabelle who also plays for the Inter Lions under-20 team, by the way. She's certainly been busy today, no matter what. Nice cushion pass by Najima for Sylvester. Edwards. And then Manidi clears. So that reminds me, up at the Arctic Circle, the home ground for Northwest Sydney Spirit. Spirit also have a ground announcer who sounds like one of our commentators. I always thought the Spirit ground announcer sounds like Melissa Muscat. Was actually at the Arctic Circle today, but she's calling a Ravens home game. They host MacArthur Rams. That game's also underway, as is the game at North Taramara, recreation area between Northern Tigers and Illawarra Stingrays. Catches the ball, and because we do love going around the grounds, just looking at the other YouTube streams going on. Near the hour mark in North Taramara, where it's presumably very cold and wet. Tigers leading Institute by 2-0. Wynnum tried to turn away from Lawless. A little bit of nominative determinism there as Lawless commits the infringement. Wynnum couldn't bounce it off Alfaraje. Sent sideways by Lawless. Spartans looking centrally. Alfaraje. Can she hold it up for her teammate? Not quite. Now it opens up left side. That's Crystal Oliva. Cross might have taken a little touch. It ended up in the box anyway. Up into the air from Cooper. That's Indiana Dos Santos and Wynnum. Oliva again. Decent ball. It's... hang on. So late contact on Oliva. That is going to be a Spartans free kick. And something quite promising, potentially, for the hosts. So everyone back for Stingrays except Siobhan Edwards. Might be going direct, and looks like Brianna Edwards had it covered. Goes over the crossbar. About 18 minutes played here in Rudy Hill, goalless between Blacktown Spartans and Illawarra Stingrays. Round 17 NPL Women's New South Wales action. Bounces over Sylvester. Silvestre almost surrounded by orange jerseys, and the Spartans have won it back. Decent little spell this for the Spartans. Nacho Alcaraz will be pleased by the positive start against the league leaders. Now, well, Maniti's not going to reach that, and Edwards has options, but then Maniti was well positioned to block the through ball because Nojima had already made a dangerous looking run. So we go the other way, covered by McKenzie. Now, well, Alfaraja, I think she got a touch on that pass from Brianna Edwards. Gets to Cooper anyway. Silvestre. Header from Maniti. Again with the clearance. McKenzie in the way. Now. So Jim having to battle for it, well, going backwards, and a bit of head tennis now. Finally, Indiana Dos Santos settles it for the Spartans. Drag back from Silvestre. Maniti wasn't having any of it. Now the ball, well, yeah, about for Corso, Alfaraja with offside. So, I forgot to mention one of the games being played concurrently, so there was another 5 p.m. kickoff in addition to this one, and that was at Cromer Park with Manly United hosting Illawarra Stingrays. Never been the greatest at multitasking, but I'll certainly try my best. Keep you updated with the goals as they go around the grounds. By the way, still 0-0. That's the Arctic Circle between Grateful Ravens and MacArthur Rams. Tackle there. That was Corona. The left-hand touchline as Spartans see it. Goes for safety, settles it for the throw. Decision, followed by Mirvalade rolling up a whistle. There's a signal to the Stingrays. Wait for my whistle. Now Silvestre delivers, it goes direct, and it's too direct from the Stingrays' perspective. Straight down Anna Norton's throat. She gets on with it. The throw to Jessica Nash. There's a lot of synthetic turf in front of her. There's Nash again. Got the wraparound run from Indiana Dos Santos, and now that's going to be something Indiana can take advantage of. Also, a couple of early goals at Cromer Park. Manly United 1, or for Sydney Spirit 1. Taylor Young. Restarting with the throw. Nash. And again, what would work from the Spartans? So, got to say they're in a bit of a rebuilding phase. A much younger team than perhaps we were used to seeing from the Spartans in recent seasons. Certainly making it difficult for Stingrays at the moment. As that is a nice ball, laser to Alfaraje. And a good tackle from Cooper. Edwards. Diagonal to Dekimura. Dekimura couldn't get rid of Nash. Now Silvestre from long range. And I think just died a little bit there the trajectory of the ball. Norton bats it down. It's relatively comfortable for Norton in the end. And a little shimmy from Janea Dos Santos, not enough to fool Haley Taylor-Young. Dos Santos, it might open up for Alfarage, and she'll get into the box here. Bit of a tight angle, but she goes for goal. Straight at Edwards. Fully entitled to go for goal there, Alfarage. Did notice Oliva was making a far post run, but the Spartans number 7 running in on the left-hand side, not necessarily in a better position than Alfarage at that time. Nash leaves it for Norton. And sends it well into opposition territory. Again, Alfarage, good speed, and she's got behind the defence here. Too high for a shot. It will go on. Who does it break for? And Stingrays, well, that might still be a shot. Ingsard loops it up into the 6-yard box. It's still not really cleared from a Stingrays perspective. Now, good pocket of space from Indiana Dos Santos, and it's swerving wide. It's great off-the-ball movement from Indiana Dos Santos. There's a lot of people around her scrambling. She just drifted into a dangerous pocket of space on the edge of the box. Had enough space to take a touch, then pull the trigger. It's a shot that wasn't too far away. Edwards seeing that Taylor-Young's in space. That was it looks like that's going to be a handball against Seveska, and Indiana Dos Santos wants to get on with it. Header from Cooper. And Indiana again. And Nash, we got the instructions from her skipper to shield it out. And that's what she did. Back to Norton and start again. Now, Siobhan Edwards brings it down, shoots again. Another save for Norton that isn't too strenuous. See the two teams keep the tempo up. I wonder how long they'll be able to keep this up for, but Ingsard is offside here. So, being a nice tackle from Taylor-Young anyway. Doesn't have it there. Everyone into Annie Norton's possession. Now, decide to build through the middle. Alyssa Wynnum immediately under pressure and actually got out of the trouble well. Good Wynnum, but now Stingrays going the other way. Seveska shoots, blocked, and Kimura is going to be offside. Header from Taylor Young. Christopherson's chasing it. It's worked back to the keeper. Earlier washouts affecting our streams. There's actually a third game that was meant to be streamed washed out today. It's the League One Women's second tier match of the round from the Central Coast. Plume Park deemed not fit for purpose. Well, I say it, I'll expand on that. The League One Women's game between Central Coast Mariners and Bankstown City not played there, although my local sources tell me they didn't schedule a bunch of local men's Premier League games on the same ground, which, you know, really isn't good enough for Central Coast football, to be honest. It's either fit for use or it's not. Block tackle from Oliva. She's going to sprint after this one. And Lawless decides to opt for safety and nearly hits that rugged up spectator square in the face. But good reflexes from that spectator. It looks like they have a blanket. Well, I mean, if you don't need it now. The hardy souls that have travelled to Rudy Hill to watch this game will certainly need blankets and whatever other layers they can find by the second half. Dekamura with the header towards Edwards. Edwards was eased out of the way illegally by Isabel Wilson. Half an hour played here at Blacktown Football Park. Eric Subihano with the commentary for this round 17 NPL Women's New South Wales contest, and it's 0-0 between the Blacktown Spartans and Illawarra Stingrays. Wallace. And Cooper. And Matos. Sebeska, first time. Edwards. Edwards looking for Dekamura. Nash gets the knee in the way. And then you saw one for Taylor Young. She's not looking too comfortable. She'll get up, so good to see she doesn't need the physio. But yes. Hard fighters, perhaps for those of a Canberra disposition. Hayley Taylor Young having quite a few seasons under her belt with Canberra United and A-League Women. And recently returned from injury. It's great to see her, but it's good to see nothing serious. And we'll get on with proceedings once more. It's Christopherson battling for possession in front of the technical areas. Doesn't get the decision from the ref. Edwards to Matos. A little bit nervous when the keeper's touch goes backwards and they're under pressure, but Edwards did well there. Now towards the far touchline. Free kick for Stingrays. A little bit speculative to look ahead to upcoming fixtures, but just if Spartans get some kind of result today, things will start to look up after a tough run of form prior to their draw last weekend against the Jets. Next up for Spartans in 7 days' time, they're back here at Rudy Hill. The slightly unusual 3:30 p.m. kickoff. At least it'll be warmer for all involved. But yes, in 7 days' time on Sunday, the 30th of June, Spartans will host Manly United, and perhaps another opportunity for them. As this could be an opportunity, but the flag's up. Janaea Dos Santos pinned for offside. Yeah, in 7 days' time, Spartans face Manly United, and that is a team that has not won, if memory serves me correctly, since round 9. So there are opportunities despite the league position. Spartans bottom of the first grade table, and from memory, second from bottom in the club championship. There are opportunities for them to improve the standings over the remaining 10 rounds. Another decision going the way of visitors. After this game, in the Spartans home game against Manly next weekend, then in 14 days' time on Sunday the 7th of July, back on the road, the Spartans will be travelling to Camperdown, playing Sydney University at the Sydney University football ground. Nice interchange between Dekamura and Taylor Young. Now Edwards, and Edwards winds it up. Manidi, good block. And forward from Corona. There's a touch, and Sebeska immediately pressured by Wilson. So there's Najima. Now Sebeska dropping deeper, and that's handball against Siobhan Edwards, and no complaints from the twin sister at the Kiwi Youth International. Ball runs out in front of a sign that certainly mirrors my own sentiments. I also love Blacktown. And decision going the Spartans' way. Lawless. And Alfaraje looking for an attack. Matos sending it forward. Two teams very fierce in the individual contests. It's getting hard for anyone out there, except maybe the two goalkeepers, to get a lot of time on the ball. Wilson opts for safety. Alfaraja, I've seen a lot of her attacking. That was a good run back defending, as Matos had made the late run to receive the throw, and Alfaraja sticking to her task without the ball. And playing it over the sideline. Seveska. Oh, sorry, my apologies, that's Christopherson, I think, with those green boots. See, that's nice and easy. Someone who's played for Canberra United wearing green boots. I should remember that. I should. And here's Edwards. Well, Christopherson's very fast. You'll get to this. And the ball over Dekamura. And cleared. Taylor Young. Yeah, Dekamura gets the ball now. And it's an awkward height for Edwards to trap. She tried to do her best. Wilson got in the way. Now, Alfaraje. And good reading of the play by Mackenzie. Stopping Janea Dos Santos running in direct on goal. Thanks to the man who's popped in the box to say hi to me. I love Justin Davies' work, a long-time reporter for Football New South Wales women's comps, particularly League One women's, the second tier. He's very kindly given me some early updates from today's action, at least the games that have taken place. Of course, there was that Mariners versus Bankstown City washout I mentioned earlier. Nash plays it forward, and then Matos booms it straight to Anna Norton. And yes, scores coming in from around the grounds in the second tier, League One women's. So into Lions 0, Blacktown City 2. Blacktown continuing a good record. Oh, as Nash has to hurry here, finds Musad. Blacktown City with a good recent record against, a good record against Inter Lions since they came into the League One women's first grade comp. Musad, well, yeah. She kind of gave herself up there. She didn't run immediately. It did look like she thought she was offside, and George Storbass agrees. And yes, Blacktown beating Interlines by 2 goals to 0, although presumably nothing will be as dramatic as their trip to Blacktown's trip to Majors Bay Reserve last year when they were losing 2-0 to Inter, came back to 2-2, and then their own goalkeeper, Kiara Roche, scored a winning free kick in the 93rd minute. Cara Roche. Now, goalkeeper at MacArthur Rams after earning her first A-League women contract with Newcastle Jets over the summer. As Lawless breaks up the attempted 1-2. Then Corona, nice first time pass around the corner. Wyndham's got room to run. Indiana Dos Santos. And Mackenzie, perhaps not quite the contact she wanted, and the spin, well, that's a bit unfortunate from Lawless. She couldn't have expected that to spin, that kind of vicious backswing straight into her arm. So other League One women's updates, the PNFC 0, St George FC 5, and Southeast Phoenix 1, Camden Tigers 2. So as Eastside retrieves that, but slices it out of play. It's a successful long trip to South Nowra for the Tigers, although it's a bit shorter for them than it is for some other teams in League One. Of course, as the fog starts to waft into Rudy Hill, from memory, this isn't one of those venues that gets severely affected by fog. And it's a 5 p.m. kickoff, not like a 7 or 7:30 p.m. kickoff, so we should be okay. But Manidi leaves it for Nash. It's just a reminder that, of course, to keep an eye out on the NPL New South Wales socials, the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. As Dekamura brings it down, sends it up, and Edwards is trying to use brute force to bundle the ball in, and her pressure has resulted in a Stingrays corner by my very manual, unofficial tally. It's the first corner of the game for either side. Yes, just to finish that thought about upcoming socials, yeah, keep an eye out on NPL New South Wales socials for the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week, voted on 3-2-1 votes from each game, decided by Football New South Wales media. Saveska. A bunch of Stingrays making runs from deeper. In they go, and towards the near post, away by Maniti. 2 corners in a row for Illawarra. There's the signal. The runs start, and again at the near post, and oh! How did that not get a touch? It's gone all the way through the 6-yard box. Well below head height. And it's gone through all the bodies and out the other side for a goal kick. Restarts. Towards halfway. Nice header from Taylor Young. Not the tallest player, but she does get up well for those aerial challenges. Then that's Dekamura tried to disguise the little 2-hand shove. Mirvalada's not having any of that. And Mirvalada was in a great position to see it as well. Another goal at North Taramara Recreation Area. Now Northern Tigers 3. Football New South Wales Institute 0. As potentially awkward for Mackenzie. So Najima has to help out. And then Cooper plays it forward, but Chantal Manidi, good game reading again, and now she's going to try from range. There's nothing. That will trouble Brianna Edwards. Still goalless at the Arctic Circle between the Ravens and the Rams, and another goal at Cromer Park. Now Manly United 1. For Sydney Spirit 2. Interesting that, and it's one of those quirks of the fixture list, because the Ravens playing Rams as we speak, and then they will play each other again in the Sapphire Cup. It's the last of the round of 16 games for the Football New South Wales Women's Knockout competition. But the Ravens again hosting the Rams at the Arctic Circle 3 days' time, Wednesday the 26th of June, and an 8 p.m. kickoff in Macquarie Park. Is going to be unbelievably cold by the end of that game. I think everyone will be hoping it doesn't go to extra time. And as that spins towards, favors the Spartans before some defending there from those in pink. And just free kick to the Spartans. And I would like to say, as a fully confirmed state league sicko, I do plan to be at that Wednesday 8 p.m. game at the Arctic Circle between the Ravens and the Rams. Because why not? I don't get many chances to watch Rams midfield superstar Darcy Malone, so if she's playing close to home, I better take one. David's doing a lot of work as trying to be the target forward. Spartans seem to be wise to it. They're getting multiple players around her whenever she drops off and drops deeper. Now Winner skipped away from her. Decent idea from inside. Now Maniti decides the best option is back to the keeper as we're in the final minutes of regulation time for the first half. Norton draws the defender, finds Wilson. Then, I think Oliva's timed that well, and she keeps it in. Oh, would have been close, but flags up. It's offside. I like the idea from Wilson. The Stingrays were stepping up. We'll see some space in behind. As we've already seen, Spartans with plenty of pace in attack. You've got Ingsad and Oliva on the flanks. You've got Alpha Raja up front. Drag back from Cooper. For that Spartans pace on the counter, especially maybe in the second half as players start to tire. Yellow card. Away, first yellow card of the evening. It's gone to number 8, Sakura Najib. Winham scrambles, get hold of possession. Then a couple of outside of the foot passes, and then also McKenzie with the outside of the foot to defend. Possibly. So we're now in first half stoppage time. So I was wondering if Spartans will try and box Stingrays in because we're near the end of the first half, but there's a little bit of room for them to play forward. Talia, well, when in doubt, yep, down the line. Tekimura. Under pressure, back to Talia. And then that's that. Defence is on top here in Rudy Hill as the teams head to the dressing sheds. 0-0 at half-time between Blacktown Spartans and Illawarra Stingrays in around 17 NPL Women's New South Wales action. So it's pretty cohesive stuff from both central defensive partnerships, that being Isabel Wilson and Chantal Maniti for the Spartans, and then Caitlin Cooper and Alex McKenzie for the Stingrays. That's a big part of the reason we're goalless. This is Eric Subihano on the mic for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half. Welcome back to the second half of our round 17 NPL Women's New South Wales coverage. Goalless between Spartans and Stingrays as the two teams head into the second period. For me, just a case, because there's no fourth official in this competition. Also on the opposite side to the technical areas in any case. So it would have been hard to see a subs board if such a thing existed tonight, but we'll just be trying to figure out the halftime subs as Mia Valadia blows the whistle for the second period. Very much again with good defensive performances from both teams, which makes sense against the goalless scoreline. How will that change? As Edwards possibly an early chance in the second half, option to her left as well, which is Dekamura. Now, Edwards. Dekamura, they decide the only way is back. To Taylor Young. Spartans standing firm. Now, Alfarage, if this settles, had a couple of passing options, and then Cooper misjudged it and decides, well, so she sliced it in the end, Cooper, and Brianna Edwards didn't want to take the risk of being seen to have handled the back pass. So, I might say that's a bonus corner, if that makes sense for the Spartans. A minute into the second half. Certainly not what they would have been expecting. We've got more League One women's updates quite quickly, thanks to a halftime conversation with Justin Davies. So, goals galore in the Southwest Sydney derby. SD Raiders 4, Marconi Stallions 3. And in the top of the table clash at Bella Vista Public School, Hills United 1, Mount Druitt Town Rangers 1. Janeo Dos Santos, good corner, and after all that, Edwards rises highest. I think, pretty sure it's off her fingertips. Anyway, it is a second Spartans corner in a row. So, Janeo Dos Santos again into a similar area, and there's the header. It's in! It's in! I think that's Isabel Wilson, and the Spartans could be creating a shock here because they've scored against the league leaders off the set piece. Janeo Dos Santos. With a corner kick that was right on the money. It is Blacktown Spartans 1, Illawarra Stingrays 0. I'm praying it was Isabel Wilson. The ground announcer is going to confirm if I was right in a couple of moments. And I think I saw the number 39 rising above the pack. Jeez. The Spartans with a lot to hang on to here. Great, so either I got that right or we're both wrong. Let's go with the first thing, because that's better. Anyway, Wilson back to the day job, and she's got to hurry because Siobhan Edwards with the speed to get in behind. And the nutmeg as well. Here's Edwards. Past another challenge, and across the box. Chantel Manidi with the right positioning to calm Spartans' nerves. Implications at both ends of the table. That goal once news filters around the rest of the league. It's going to raise RPL Leichhardt eyebrows. Also, everyone else who's at or near the top of the table. Let me look at the ladder, because there's Olympic, there's Bulls, MacArthur Rams, they're all in the mix. Even Gladesville Ravens, 6th place, not too far away. Northern Tigers in 7th place, only 4 points off the Stingrays. So, and Northern Tigers won as well. They've beaten Institute. So, this is going to somehow make things even tighter at the top of the table, I think. At the other end, NSW will be raising eyebrows there at the bottom of the club championship standings for NPL Women's New South Wales, along with the Spartans. Now it's Edwards who's found the gap between fullback and centre back. Nash tries to slow her down. Wilson steps in. Now Silvestre. Edwards. And Edwards shoots, acute angle, and then Christopherson, well, took a touch, so it will be the third Stingrays corner of the game. And I think Christopherson felt it was out of reach. She didn't fling herself to try and score a spectacular diving header or something similar. Silvestre signals. It's flat, and Maniti in the perfect position, standing right by the near post, lets it hit the side netting. With all that excitement, I forgot to remind you of the two sets of lineups out there. I'm going to assume there were no subs made at halftime. So, once again, for the Spartans, in goal, number 1, Anna Norton. Their back four from left to right, number 26, Diana Corona. Number 39, Isabel Wilson, the goal scorer. Number 2, the captain, Chantal Maniti. And number 29, Jessica Nash. 3 in midfield, number 14, Indiana Dos Santos. Number 16, Alyssa Winham, just tackling there. And number 33, Janeo Dos Santos. On the left, number 7, Krista Oliva. On the right, number 27, Alyssa Msad. Furthest forward at the point of attack is number 9, Rakaya Alfaraja, although Janeo Dos Santos breaking from that Spartans 3-player midfield at every opportunity. The pressing there as well, which results in Edwards playing it into touch. Now for the Stingrays, in goal for them, number 31, Brianna Edwards. We've got a back four, so from left to right, number 32, Haley Taylor-Young. Number 3, Alex McKenzie. Number 15, their captain, Caitlin Cooper. And number 11, Danica Matos. In midfield, number 8, Sakura Majima. Number 18, Molly Lawless. That's intercepted by Taylor Young. On the left, number 4, Amy Dekimura. On the right, number 28, Sophia Christopherson. And kind of a front two involving this player, number 23, Sienna Silvestre, who's drifting all over the place. And number 14, Siobhan Edwards. Winham dropped the shoulder, got rid of 2 pink jerseys, but only for a moment. For Stingrays now with even more incentive to press high. They're chasing the game now. Chasing this, Janeo Dos Santos, but it is covered by both Cooper and Edwards. Oliva. Well, let's see what the assistant does, although it shouldn't matter, because Brianna Edwards has it covered right at the edge of her box. Good touch from Silvestre, but then immediately swamped by both Indiana Dos Santos and Winham. Matos is going to put Corona under pressure, so that could be awkward for Norton. And Norton plays it straight at Matos and then gets lucky with the deflection right back into her gloves. Given the game situation, given the situation of the season so far, I think that those of a Spartans persuasion would be forgiven for feeling a bit nervous at this stage of the game. Stuff like that won't exactly help. That break 4 on the far side. I think that's going to end up being a goal kick. Thank you to Justin Davies giving me some extra context over that top of the table League One women's clash at my favourite venue in world sport, Bella Vista Public School. So the goals in that 1-1 draw between Hills and Mount Druitt, it was the Park Prodigy turned Popondetta Princess, Rita Boateng scoring for Mount Druitt. And it was Bella Donaldson scoring for Hills United. I think that's her 6th of the season. So tidy return for the Hills United midfielder. So after all the build-up, as Hills United dropped points in last weekend's League One Women's Match of the Round, I was actually on the mic to call a Tori Tumith match-winning double as her Southern strikers came from behind to beat Hills United 3-2. That was last weekend. Also last weekend, Mount Druitt won 1-0 away at Central Coast thanks to Rita Boateng's goal. It tightened the League One Women's Club Championship right up, and after all that, all square. Good tackle from Indiana Dos Santos. Now, interesting ball, and Alfaraja's away. So is McKenzie, and Alfaraja gets the touch, but that's a simple one for Edwards. delivery on the far side of the penalty area as the set piece taker saw it. Lawless trying to keep it alive. Winham spirits that away. Seveska just Stingrays trying to make it sit down, and then Nojima sends it straight to Anna Norton, completing that thought of the League One Women's Championship. Yes, I know the under-20s is part of that as well. So, by my maths, although apparently I've been told I miscounted the number of yellow cards in the first half, so take this with a grain of salt. Hang on, here's Ingsard through on goal, and Ingsard off the inside of the post, and straight back to Edwards. The timing on the run and pass was superb. Ingsard knew she had to hit it first time. Contact was good. Off the inside of the post and back to the Stingrays keeper. And the Spartans so nearly doubled their advantage. Header from Matos. And Seveska's been covered by Corona there. Let's see if I can finally get this thought out about the League One Women's Club Championship. All square in the race for the top of that standings. So yes, Hills and Mount Druitt drew in first grade. Mount Druitt won in under 20, so I think they now lead the club championship by 1 point over Hills. Yes, it's that tight. With 9 rounds to go. Cooper under pressure from Alfaraje, and Alfaraje is going to sprint away. She's out wide and could do with some support. It comes in the form of Winner. And Janea Dos Santos, lovely drop of the shoulder to beat the first defender, but not the second. Now Edwards is away down the other end. This game's already getting stressed. Look at the runners. Look at the pink jerseys getting into the box. Here's Edwards. Might go herself. Wide. Now, I see a substitution, so time to see what I can see with my broken old binoculars. It is Janea Dos Santos possibly making way. Oh no, I reckon that's a number 29, so that's Jessica Nash. So the literal one-time Matilda is going to about the hour mark. Looks to be a straight swap as well. Actually, apologies, I will have to wait till that play turns around so I can see the shirt number. Now that breaks for Alfaraje. I have to think about that substitution later on. First, this Spartans attack. Alfaraje goes behind Winham. And coming onto the field is, from memory, that's Charlotte Owen. Yes, Charlotte Owen, number 3, coming on it right back. Straight swap for Jessica Nash. Winham. Winham tries to feed it through. Spartans will definitely take that corner kick. Oliva, certainly not hurrying. Could call that smart game management. And the variation, short to Winham, close down quickly. McKenzie plays it forward. Now, another chance. Ingsard, option in the middle. Here's Janea Dos Santos. She doesn't get a touch, and it goes right across the face of the goal. The Spartans really, shall we say, testing those Stingrays' premiership credentials. They look in the mood, and the tails are up after that goal. Spartans squeezing hard, so if it goes long, then that's with Wilson. Winham does well to keep it away from Lawless. Janea Dos Santos followed all the way by Alex McKenzie. Now there was room for Winham to run into. It was blocked by the Stingrays. Indiana for Santos. Owen, the newly introduced player. Ferocity in the middle third. That's what you love to see. Decanura for the Stingrays. Edwards lays it off, finds Silvesca. And Silvesca. Edwards stayed on side there. Corona getting it away. It's Matos keeping the pressure on. And Matos is blocked. I think that's Oliva, who immediately tries to turn defense into attack, putting curl around those two Stingrays players at the back. Wallace decides to cool things down for a brief moment, going back to the keeper. Spartan subs reminds me. Yes, they're just could give a reminder of the other players that could potentially see the field later on. There's a flick from Dos Santos, and then Alfaraja can't return the favour. But the other Spartans players that could come on, if Nacho Alcaraz wants it to be the case. The backup keeper is Ella Stewart. The others are Helena Daniela, Charlotte Carroll, and the Philippines Youth International Isabella Preston, and Alyssa McKenzie. A maximum of 4 subs left for the Spartans, and a maximum of 2 windows left. Wynnum sees the option. That's Janeo Dos Santos, Alfaraja already in the middle, and McKenzie sends it into the advertising boards. Just briefly, the Stingray subs are Tara Cannon, Kayla Austin, Hallie Callow, Ella Giles, Poppy Hooks, and the backup keeper, Sophie M. Now into the middle. I think that's Taylor Young. Sending it onto the little mound behind the fence. Header there. Spartans gradually move it up the field by way of throwing. Again, keeping the pressure on. Still a long way from what I like to call game management mode, or the game management time of proceedings, but Spartans, this is the best way to protect the 1-goal lead. Just have it as far away from the goal as possible. Winning, quick feet, Janeo Dos Santos. Then, she's trying to do it all herself. It's tough sledding up against multiple defenders. Yeah, the Stingrays still cannot, for now, get a hold of the ball. Here's Oliva. Cooper. That could be the pressure release valve, because Cooper's found Silvesca. And Silvesca looking for Decanura. Owen, because wherever surroundings knows she can work up there for the goal kick. Plays it forward. Good first touch from Janelle Dos Santos. Now the numbers are still in Stingray's favour, but you'll find Oliva anyway. Took a late tumble. Mia Velado happy to let things run. Spartans go back to the keeper. Spartans work the far side. Excellent tackle. I think that was Taylor Young. Maniti. Now, Spartans staying persistent. Oh, great skill from Janeo Dos Santos. Key moment, not just for the game, but for the Stingray season. 1-0 down away from home. Cold enough that I can see my breath even though I'm in the box. Steve Gordon's side rescue the situation. Still plenty of time, about 25 minutes or so remaining. And if you've just joined us, this is Eric Subihana with the commentary from Rooty Hill. Blacktown Spartans leading the league leaders, Illawarra Stingrays, by a goal to nil. The goal came early in the second half. Isabel Wilson, a thumping header off a Janeo dos Santos corner. Flags up, so Alfaraje. Of course, it can't be offside from the throw-in, but she didn't get back on side at the time. Lawless going backwards, but finds the pass on the turn. Taylor Young. Sebeska. Taylor Young. Expect to see her release forward more and more as the Stingrays chase the game. Now Faraja, good balance, and she whips it in, and it's not held, so the loose ball up for grabs. And Dos Santos can't lay it off to her sister. And Janea couldn't find Indiana, who'd timed the late run, but clearance cannons into a Spartans player. Tricky spell this for the league leaders. Sebeska now. It's a nice ball, and I'm pretty sure Siobhan Edwards stayed on side. It's covered by Wilson. The delivery, it's up and over Christopherson. Corona defends, of course the tackle had to be clean as she was inside the box. Good run from Christopherson. She tries to evade the orange jerseys. Throwing right by the corner flag. And just a reminder, we certainly hope you're enjoying today's action. And be sure to tune in to Kickoff, the official Football New South Wales competition podcast, which covers both NPL New South Wales and Football New South Wales leagues. The latest episode features one of the players on the field right now, Siobhan Edwards from Illawarra Stingrays, who has scored 11 times this season already. And it does also feature Jack O'Brien, Blacktown City's top scorer in NPL men's, and Chris Payne from League One men's outfit, Blacktown City. Available at most podcast platforms that people would subscribe to, certainly the main ones. Justin Davies. Thanks, Justin, for confirming my club championship maths. Yes. League One Women's match leading Hills United in the club championship by 1 point. Keep an eye out for Justin Davies' high-quality review of the weekend's League One Women's action. 2 games washed out in the women's second tier. That was the Sutherland Strikers home game. I've forgotten who they were playing. My apologies. Sutherland Strikers versus South Coast Flame. So too much fodder for the Flame to have any action today. And also, as I said earlier, Mariners versus Blacktown City also washed out in League One Women's. So 2 League One Women's games washed out today, as happened this weekend in NPL Women's. Spartans are still on the press side. They're still being proactive, which I'm sure will please Nacho Alcaraz, the coach. But when you press, it can leave spaces behind you. And here's a player who can punish spaces in the defense. It was Seveska finding Dekamura. Big block. Nojima, she shoots. And great save. Anna Norton might even have been unsided. I think her body rate was going slightly to her left before she flung herself back to her right. That's an excellent save to keep the Spartans in front. Wynnum gets the layoff, and it'll go back for the late hit there. Chance for the Spartans to take a breather. Oliva couldn't bring it down. Doesn't matter, because Alfaraje still with plenty of running left in the legs. Back to Oliva. Interesting ball towards Sinead dos Santos, and it loops up straight at Brianna Edwards. Now, Edwards judging it, but does it bring it under a spell? Najima loses out to Sinead dos Santos. Winham, as much time as she was allowed. And via Maniti goes back to the keeper. Najima and Saveska. She avoided the challenge of Wilson, but it will be a free kick. And if you are at all familiar with Sienna Saveska's array of talents, you will know that this is well within her range. Made her mark as an Illawarra Stingray earlier on, scoring from about 45 yards at the Arctic Circle, helping the Stingrays defeat Northwest Sydney Spirits 2-1. That might even have been a Stingrays debut. She scored plenty of left-footed long-range bombs for Football New South Wales Institute as well. That's what Stingrays need at this exact moment. 4 in the wall. It's Saveska. She shoots and it's over. Substitutions coming up. Looks to be the second and third subs made for the home side. Ingsard will not add to a tally of 8 goals for the season. Alfaraje is the other player to make way. Let's see. I suspect Charlotte Carroll, number 12, has come on, but I need her to turn around. Yep, there's a 12. So Charlotte Carroll is on for Alfaraje. Maybe Alyssa McKenzie. Don't know why I'm guessing, but I feel like Alyssa McKenzie is on the right wing now, for the Spartans, replacing Alyssa Ingsard. Charlotte Carroll going to midfield has allowed, it's meant that Indiana Dos Santos, I think, will play further forward alongside her sister. I also think I saw a 28, so at least I was right for once. Now it's up Norton. There's a bit of traffic, but also some protection from Wilson, who's actually copped a bit of a knock, so we'll have a stoppage. And we might even see the Spartans physio come on. Yep, there's the signal. Take a bit of a pause, and it's been breathless stuff, especially in the second half. If you've missed any of the action, of course, you can just go back on the stream and watch from whatever point you want to, such as the beauty of streaming on YouTube. Great. It's great for us to be streaming our games once again on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. The key moment happening in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Isabel Wilson scoring off a corner to put the Spartans a goal to the good against the league leaders, or the team that were the league leaders as we entered the round, because if today's scores stay as they are, I think it'll be RPL Leichhardt retaking the lead of the league. So Wilson has to leave the field for a brief moment. Sparks now to see part just a minute or so while they're down to 10 players. Is this something the Stingrays can take advantage of? Saveska flicks and Maniti is there to play it forward. Just confirming Northern Tigers beat Institute by 3-0, so they're still in this premiership mix. No doubt about that. Cooper hooks it over her shoulder, and then Matos sends it up high into the night sky. Good to see Wilson's back on the field, so nothing too wrong with her. And Carroll can't break that up. Here's Siobhan Edwards. Norton's got to be quick, and she is. Oliva putting the pressure on. Matos plays it over the sideline. Sounds like Maniti urging her teammates to lift, although they also want to at least slow things down. Opportunities like this throw in attacking positions. By the way, still Spirit leading Manly by 2 goals to 1 at Roman Park. Delivery from Oliva. And Regina finding Dekimura. Nice ball. Sylvester with the right foot. Puts the spin on it to favour Edwards. And Edwards, well, this orange jersey streaming back. Edwards, nice diagonal ball. Christopherson should get on the end of this. Here's the cross, which is blocked and somehow does not end up as a corner. Throw. Oliva, and then that's the corner. 1-1 at the Arctic Circle, by the way, between Gladesville Ravens and MacArthur Rams. So Melissa Muscat, she has a couple of goals to warm her up, because trust me, at that venue this time of year, there isn't much else that's going to keep you warm. Molly Lawless making way, so that's the first Stingrays substitution. Player coming on. Sorry, I just haven't seen it yet. Well, best with respect to that player, I hope you don't score before I figure out who you are. Sylvester swings it in, and there's a header. Taylor Young can't keep it in. I've seen a 9. I think I've seen a 9, which makes it either number 19 Halakalo or number 39. No, it's a 39, so it's Poppy Hooks, the West Australian, who's on in the last 15 minutes trying to change the game for her side. Now, it's Hooks on the end of this. It's going to be a penalty. It's a penalty. So Corona judged to have not gotten there in time. The substitute has made the impact. And the Stingrays have a strike from 12 yards to level the scores. This understatement to say that it's a big moment, huge moment in the context of both the Spartans and the Stingray season. And it's Siobhan Edwards, Stingray's leading scorer, who's taken the responsibility. Here we go. Siobhan Edwards against Anna Norton. And Edwards scores, makes no mistake, ice cold from the spot. That's 12 for the season for Siobhan Edwards. And more importantly, she's found an equaliser. Blacktown Spartans 1, Illawarra Stingrays 1. In the 79th minute. It's come late, but they have found it. That's what matters. Now, changes the mentality, changes the approach. Stingrays, obviously, you think they try and push for a winner, but Spartans have been very handy in attack and caused and asked a lot of questions of the Stingrays' defense. So, just like this one, because Wynnum with the pass towards Janae Dos Santos, who shoots. And he goes wide, but took a touch off McKenzie. Stingrays corner. The delivery, and they're under pressure here are the Stingrays. Good punch. Wynnum shoots into the crowd. Stingrays don't let it go through. Excellent punch by Brianna Edwards under pressure. And now a twin sister Siobhan rides the challenge. Support coming from Hooks. Couldn't control the ball. Could end up almost like a basketball game. I reckon both teams want to go for the win. I don't really think anyone wants to settle for a draw as it goes up and headed away by Maniti. Edwards, a good first touch. Blocked, I think, by Carroll. No, ball just blocked by Owen there. Cooper. That's Wilson. Towards Oliva. Now, Jermaine Dos Santos again judges the defensive line correctly, stays onside. They double up. It's Najima. A good sliding tackle. Header from Matos. Winham. Indiana Dos Santos finds the pass. That shouldn't be offside, and it's not. Mackenzie back to Indiana Dos Santos, and now here's Krista Oliva. She shoots, and it's in! The Spartans are back in front. Krista Oliva kept the composure, and the ball came away. It was a great cross from Indiana Dos Santos. A big celebration by the corner flag. Blacktown Spartans 2, Illawarra Stingrays 1. If you were Krista Oliva, it would have felt like that took an eternity, that ball from Indiana Dos Santos to come down out of the night sky. But she concentrated, kept the shot low. That's what you teach the kids. She's found a way past Brianna Edwards. What a time for Krista Oliva to score her 5th goal of the season. A handy contributor in a side that's to be near the bottom of the table. A small matter of minutes away from beginning to change that. So there are plenty of football left to be played. 8 minutes by my stopwatch, plus any stoppages Niavalaga chooses to add. Manidi has had enough of that and just bombs it into the Stingrays penalty area. The dummy from Dekimura now, Siobhan Edwards. And there's 5-on-4 for Stingrays if they're quick enough. And Maniti blocks the way to goal. Stingrays throw. And those Spartans midfielders better hurry up and support their defenders. So the Stingrays are certainly going to play things as quickly as they can, but offside from the first pass off the throw-in. Before I forget, I might just give a shout out to the games scheduled for next weekend on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel in our women's competition. So there's 7 games in NPL women's scheduled for the end of the financial year, Sunday 30th of June, 3:30 p.m. here at Blacktown Football Park. It's Blacktown Spartans versus Manly United. I'll have the commentary for that one. Then 4:40 p.m. That's a free kick. 4:40 p.m. from the incredibly cold Northbridge Oval, Bulls FC Academy versus Sydney Olympic in 7 days' time. The other 30th of June NPL women's games are all at 5 p.m. Firstly, Illawarra Stingrays versus Sydney University, the team that broke my heart by eliminating the Bats from the Sapphire Cup. Also, RPL Leichhardt versus Football New South Wales Institute, Northwest Sydney Spirit versus MacArthur Rams, UNSW versus Ravens, and Jets versus Northern Tigers. Header, Norton catches it, and then she does what all goalkeepers love to do when they're defending a 1-goal lead in the closing stages: catch the ball and then fall very, very slowly to the ground. Norton bombs it forward. There's also the League One women's match of the round is also on Sunday, the 30th of June, a 3 p.m. kickoff. St. George FC versus SD Raiders. It is nominally a St. George FC home game, but it is actually at the SD Raiders home ground, Ernie Smith Reserve. Melissa Muscat will be calling that game. Good cushion header. Here's Edwards, and the shot goes over. Possibly under pressure from Maniti once again. That's a great knockdown for Poppy Hooks. Not the tallest player, but almost like a old-fashioned target forward. She rose and directed the header. Actually, apologies, that might have been Christopherson with the header. Never mind. Whoever it was a very nice header into Siobhan Edwards' path. Najima, the foot in there. And Taylor Young found the space, but didn't find any of her teammates. Throw-ins in the 86th minute. The 1-goal lead. It's going to suit the Spartans just fine. Edwards, a 3-on-3. If Stingrays can work it properly. Wilson with the tackle. Nothing wrong with that, according to the referee. We'll go on with Wynnum. There's a Spartans player down in back play. Wynnum, well, how much ambition does she have? Plenty, as it turns out. And anyway, everyone's back to their feet. Alyssa McKenzie's okay. And then that's going to be a foul against Wynnum. One look ahead. Look ahead at the fixtures. It's one of the quirks of the fixture list. After this, Stingrays have their next 6 games at home, Macedonia Park in Berkeley. So could be quite helpful for them in this premiership battle, this heated premiership battle. Edwards plays it forward. Now Silveska under pressure. Silveska gets the deflections to fall away. Takes a tumble, but she's up quickly, and Stingrays needed to get up as quick as they can. She's a potential match saver for the Stingrays. Looking ahead to Stingrays the next 2 games. They've got both universities, so as I did say earlier, on the 30th of June, Sunday, Illawarra hosting Sydney University, and then Sunday the 7th of July, they host newly promoted University of New South Wales. Stingrays hoping to teach their opponents a lesson over the next 2 weeks. Another good tackle. But it's the Stingrays trying to turn the screw. Kept in. Maniti with the touch. But now Cooper, who's been chucked forward for the closing stages. She's pretty decent in the air, so not a bad ploy by Steve Gordon. Decent cross, and it was awkward for Wilson. Too high to kick, too low to head. She's done enough. Cooper. Wide option is Matos. Matos into the middle. Siobhan Edwards waiting. Manidi didn't let it get to her. Header from Cooper. And that's going to be a Stingrays free kick. Christopherson, very persistent. Would be familiar a familiar trait to any Canberra United fans who may be watching, or any NPL capital football experts. Now, everyone, as you'd expect, everyone back for the Spartans. In-swinger coming in, and a little bit of a bobble, but nothing the team in pink could take advantage of. Anna Norton clutches it gratefully in the final minute of regulation time here. Swung in, and there should be there for Brianna Edwards, and is. That challenge from Poppy Hooks was as subtle as some of my jokes. I reckon that's the easiest decision Mia Ballada has had to make the whole game. Just in case you were wondering, there's no 4th official in this comp, so for you younger viewers, this is going to be a little taste of what it used to be like all the time before the 1998 Men's World Cup. We're just going to have to guess how much time added on those. reckon, well, I've already had almost a minute of it on my stopwatch. I reckon it's going to be at least 4. There's still a bit of work to be done for the Spartans to secure this valuable result. And overhit, but given this game situation, not entirely convinced that Isabel Wilson cares that much. Every tackle being cheered vociferously by the Spartans bench. As the spectators in front of us who have braved the cold all game are starting to make their way home. And one last shout for everyone to push up from Spartans. Edwards. Now, Oliva. Looks like being the match winner unless the Stingrays can change it. And Oliva was still keen to press. Now, Christopherson. Stopped by Corona. Wynnum. Now, room to turn for Janeo dos Santos. And that's actually a neat tackle from Majima. Oh, but it's given away. Indiana dos Santos and keeps her feet well. There's the run from Mackenzie, but she turns back inside. Outnumbered. As Mackenzie stops that attack. About 2 minutes of time added on. Whatever the Stingrays need to do, or whatever the Stingrays have to do, needs to be quick. Decision has actually gone the way of the home side, and they will be loving that, especially the Spartans bench, because I think it happened right in front of them. Good shouts to press. I think from Manidi. I recognize that voice. Edwards gets it forward though. Hawks goes backwards, but Stingrays needed to go the other way. Manidi forward and Hawks. Siobhan Edwards backing into Owen. Will it break for Cooper? Does not. It's Oliva instead. Corona. And Oliva actually, let's see. It's heavy tumble, which is going to get up. And then she'll make the tackle as well. Now it's up. Decent first touch from Hawks. Blocked off. And it's up for grabs in front of the box, but then actually, not sure if that's Owen or Carroll possibly, but the physio's on, and there's my prediction, because I reckon we'll have a little bit more than 4 minutes time added on now. Good sporting behaviour there from Hooks, nothing in it. Charlotte Owen will have to leave the field. Drop ball to Spartans, and I feel like there's going to be zero subtlety with this. They're just going to bomb it if there's any pressure on them from the restart. Charlotte Owen gets checked behind the Spartans' goal. And well, that's under hit. Norton's got to hurry. Well, that's exactly what the Spartans fans did not want to see. One on Mia Velarde to see if she's glancing at a watch. Well, she won't, because it's full time, and Blacktown Spartans are off the foot of the NPL Women's New South Wales table. They defeated the former league leaders Illawarra Stingrays by 2-1. All the goals came in the second half. Isabel Wilson headed in early in the second half to open the scoring from a Janeo dos Santos corner. With about 12 minutes remaining, Siobhan Edwards equalised for the Stingrays from the penalty spot. And a couple of minutes after that, it was Krista Oliva of a peach of a cross from Indiana dos Santos, finishing from close range. That will prove to be the match winner, and it's 3 valuable points for Nacho Alcaraz's side. We hope you stick around on the Football New South Wales YouTube page for the dying stages of the game at the Arctic Circle between Clayton Ravens and MacArthur Rams, called by the Professor Melissa Muscat. There's also a Tuesday night NPL men's game also in Macquarie Park between Northwest Sydney Spirits and Sutherland Sharks, 8 p.m. kickoff. Alexander Molchanov will be calling that. And if for some reason you like my commentary, I'll be on the Friday night NPL men's game from the Ellington Sports Centre, Sydney FC versus Marconi Stallions, 7 p.m. kickoff, Friday, 28th of June. But this is Eric Subihano signing off for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the 2024 NPL Women's New South Wales season. Take care, wishing you plenty of good vibes, great coffee, sick tattoos, razzlers, and may your team create underdog victories against the odds. Whenever they can, see you next time.